LR, the liberal redneck here. Coming to you from a country dealing with two nasty pandemics. The coronavirus pandemic is starting to wane due to the vaccination efforts of President Biden. But the other pandemic appears to be raging completely out of control. So far in 2021, 14,000 have died from gun violence, and there have been 160 mass shootings. Not all that surprising in a country that has more guns than people. Significant responsibility for this pandemic can be attributed to the organizations like the National Rifle Association and their distorted interpretation of the Second Amendment to the Constitution, which they feel guarantees their right to own as many guns as they desire. They conveniently ignore the first part of the Second Amendment, which states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, and focus all their efforts on the last part, which states the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court Warren Burger said in a 1991 appearance on the MacNeil-Lehrer NewsHour that the notion that the Second Amendment guaranteed an unlimited individual right to obtain guns has been the subject of one of the greatest pieces of fraud, I repeat the word, fraud, on the American public by special interest groups in my lifetime. And former Justice John Paul Stevens called for abolishing the Second Amendment for that very reason. U.S. citizens currently own an estimated 393 million guns, but only 22% acknowledge actual gun ownership, which seems to indicate those 22% own a lot of guns. In 2019, the TSA, Transportation Security Administration, confiscated the most guns in its history, with 4,432. There was significantly less air travel in 2020 due to the COVID-19, and they still confiscated 3,257 guns. In a surreal development, it is currently easier to buy a gun in our country than it is to vote. That is unacceptable, and both issues must be corrected. The passage of H.R. 1 would go a long way to fixing our voting problems, but there is currently nothing dealing with our totally out-of-control gun situation. Major legislation banning assault weapons, enforcing background checks, initiating waiting periods, and a nationwide gun registry must be passed with all due speed if we're going to survive in our own homes. The need is real, and the time is past due. Other nations have done it with enormous success. We must follow suit or pay the price with more dead Americans. There's no longer room for discussion. It's time to act. You can reach me at theliberalredneck@gmail.com, and you can visit live with me and my talented colleagues for our weekly wrap-up every Friday at noon Central on blogtalkradio.com/theliberalredneck. Thanks for watching.